Okay, how's everybody doing today? It's Brett Gurney with BrettGurney.com, and I'm going to do one of my blog post supporting videos, which I do from time to time. It's a sort of training. It helps me to as I go back over my old blog posts and just kind of get myself caught up on some of the stuff that I've written about and talked about before. So even though when you see me looking at the screen here, obviously I am referring to a blog post, but it is something that I wrote. Okay, and I just use it as a reference. So it is my material. Okay, but I need to read it a little bit to get me going. And so today's blog post was titled, and this is from way back in April of 2014, but the principles still apply, okay? Attracting business fundamentals and concepts. So have you ever felt like you were spinning your wheels and going nowhere trying to market online because you're competing with everybody else, and maybe even some of the same people, um, and wondering why in the world is anybody going to want to kind of attract themselves to you and what you're doing as opposed to everybody else that's saying something good and great too. And maybe you start wondering, how in the world am I ever going to wade through this sea of stuff to get something going? But there are some things that you can do to differentiate yourself from everybody else. And I'm just going to go over those really quickly now. And I'm going to, well, here it says, get good enough at something, one thing, to become or to be considered an expert. Now, you don't have to be an expert. You don't have to be considered an expert to an expert. Because the thing is if you just learn how to do something and get, semi good enough at it, good enough to the point where you can maybe show somebody else who doesn't know anything about that particular subject how to do it, then in their eyes you are an expert. Okay, so now you are providing value to that person. You're going to be able, they're going to look at you as an authority figure. You're going to be able to help them do the same thing. Okay, so here's some things to think about that you could do. You could start blogging or videoing, um, you know, even just your Facebook posts, and and creating some kind of education or teach somebody how to do something. And it could be about your topic or your niche or whatever it is that you are wanting to get, what message you want to get across, or what you want to show somebody. And this can begin with fixing your social media profiles and getting more active on Facebook, for example. Um, and I'm not talking about posting links and spamming your business. Okay, that doesn't work. Nobody wants to see or hear that stuff. I'm talking about making friends, conversing with people, teaching somebody something. I mentioned that. And again, you don't need to be an expert. You just need to know a little bit of something about some particular subject, and work on getting, better at that, but also work on letting other people know that it's something that you know how to do. Because if it's something that you're doing and that might be benefiting you in some way, then it's going to, there's going to be somebody else out there that wants to do the same thing, and you can show them how to do that. Let's see. Use what you know to come across as someone of authority. I said that. This will lead to sifting and sorting your potential prospects, and happens just from communicating with others and learning about them, their likes and dislikes. In other words, getting to know people, creating relationships. And then it goes on here: education, marketing, pre-sells prospects, and creates a flow. Um, So when you get an idea or a topic of interest and something that you want to share, and it could be just something that's a hobby of yours, or that's something that you do in your pastime, something that you're passionate about, something that might be happening in your life for somebody that you know, or it could be a business that you're doing, um, and then just start talking about it and teaching other people what you know about that. This shows you're a doer, and a doer gets other people's attention. So it goes on here to say the number one purpose of all this is to build your list, of course. Well, yeah, you're going to want to direct people to maybe a lead capture page or something like that, so that they can let you know that they're interested in learning more about that subject and dropping an email address or something like that. Your list is your most valuable asset. And not only that, but once you start building a list, now that is something that you can start talking about and start teaching other people how to do as well. So if you want to, again, if you're competing with a bunch of other people and everybody's talking about the same stuff and to the same people, you simply need to start doing something that is a little bit different from what everybody else is doing, and that is finding something that you are doing that you're semi good at and work on getting better at that to eventually be considered an expert. And again, um, being an expert can simply be in somebody else's eyes, knowing more about that thing than that they do, and then showing people how to do what it is that you're doing, what you're good at, and that will start attracting people to you, and then you can take it from there. So, and of course, just never ever quit. Okay, don't ever quit. Keep going, because that's a whole nother that's another thing right there, is the fact that if you're competing with a lot of people, um, a bunch of those people are going to drop off. They're going to go by the wayside. They're going to go somewhere else. They're going to quit. They're going to lose interest. If you're the one that sticks with it, people, they notice that. Okay, if you're somebody that keeps grinding, people notice that, and they'll start to see a quality in you that they want, because they want to do the same thing. Okay, so anyways, thanks for watching my video today. Appreciate it. And I hope you got a little something out of it. But again, I do this for my benefit as much as for anybody. But you can always check out my blog, brettgurney.com. You can check out my YouTube/Brett Gurney. Or just look me up on the internet. I'm all over the place. Facebook. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.